What is going on, guys? Judo Sloth here and welcome to this farming guide for Clash of Clans. Today we're going to be looking at the GiBarch Strategy. Diving straight into troop composition, I like to take 10 giants, 10 wizards and 75 archers and barbarians. Now this is just how I like to use the strategy. A lot of people will have variations on this depending on what spells you bring. You might throw in a few wall breakers, but how I queue this up is I have 5 giants in 2 sets of barracks followed by 50 archers and 50 barbarians. Then I have 5 wizards followed by 25 archers and 25 barbarians. That gives you your troop composition, and I throw a couple of extra wizards on there as well just for if I'm making donations. For my spells, I like to bring 2 jump spells. Now that's to get appropriate access to the base. 2 rage spells to really speed things up, because if you take too many heals, you're snookered against them infernos. But I do like to take a heal spell just because a lot of the time I'll be attacking Town Hall 9s. So getting onto the raids itself, it's a pretty box standard deployment. I put my first jump spell in to get as much access to the base as I can, followed by a line of giants and a line of wizards. Now this is going to help create my funnel. The wizards I just find are a bit better, but I do save a couple to sprinkle in when I 2-finger drop my barbarians and then my archers right into the middle. I like to use a rage spell initially to really push forward, but don't hold on to that second jump spell too long. You have to get that in so that they will go into the core. As long as you're out the way of infernos, you can drop your heal spell in there, and then a rage spell right over the core is always good to ensure you get whatever is in there, but often there'll be storages sprinkled around, as you can see in this one, just outside of the core. That will help your wizards and archers to shoot out and help you get that. So you'll see that we ended up with around about 600,000 in golden elixir, but actually it's the dark elixir that I was going for. So I predominantly use this strategy to push into the center of the bases because you can really get in and get them storage raids, and it means you can target whatever resource it is you're farming for. But if you can pick up some of the others at the same time, then that's always a bonus. Now I appreciate we flew straight into that first raid. That was more to demonstrate the capabilities of the GiBarch Farming strategy. Now let's break it down into a bit more detail. So we sort of skipped over the best league to use this in. I've found that gold and crystal leagues, especially as a Town Hall 10, have worked out best for me. That's not to say that you can't use this at a different trophy level, and you can use this as pretty much any Town Hall level really. Obviously if you're a Town Hall 8 you won't have the jump spells, so you'll have to bring in some wall breakers and change your troop composition up a little bit. But this is self-explanatory and you'll pretty much get your own feel for the strategy and alter the troop composition yourself anyway. This is just what I like to use. So looking at this raid, so far I've been using a general barch strategy to take the mines and pumps on the outside. Now you won't always have to take storage raids with this strategy. If you can get away without using all of your spells and troops, then by all means do so. On this one, I decided it was worth pushing in for the rest of them storages, because what I like about this strategy is you can log off, jump back on an hour later, and your troops are ready to go. Now I'm going to show a few more raids so I can demonstrate a bit better of what I'm doing here, but I decided to come in from the corner on this one because that allowed me to use my 2 jump spells a little better, because you'll see I just let my troops bust through that initial part of the wall so that I could jump into the core, but also jump out and allow my king to get them 2 storages on the back end. Now it turns out on this one my queen would have probably got them anyway, but that's what she's great for actually. As I was explaining in the first raid, once she's into the core of the base, she can shoot out to storages on the other side. But since I predominantly farm Dark Elixir, a lot of these raids I don't have her because she's busy upgrading. Now if we freeze the frame here on this next raid, you will see I have my jump spell in and my line of giants. I'm then putting a line of wizards in. You can see that the giants are tanking, the wizards are starting to create a very nice funnel, and then I can really target my barch troops in towards that dark elixir. So initially I'm going to use a couple of them to help with that funnel, but then I'm only going to sprinkle them in because you'll see there's a mortar and 2 wizard towers there, which could end very badly if I just flew them in. So you do have to be wary, especially with what's in that initial layer. I did use a heal spell and then a rage to help get rid of them splash damage defenses, and then you'll see an example here of what I was explaining in the first raid, in that I probably waited a little too long to get my jump spell into the core, and a lot of my troops started running around the side. In the end, I did get what I wanted in that of the Dark Elixir, mainly because I had funneled my troops correctly at the start, but again, do as I say, not as I do. You'll see there's mines at the top there. I'd say the gold mine and elixir pump to the top left and the gold mine to the right I could have took with a single archer, so it depends what you're after. If you do want some of that extra loot though, one archer to take them down is certainly worth it. So a lesson for me on that one as well, to scout the base more effectively, but we still got all of that Dark Elixir. Moving on to another example, and then we'll start wrapping this up because you'll be getting the hang of it now. Jump spell in first with a line of giants, a line of wizards to start creating my funnel. Once that funnel's created, we can bring our heroes in through the centre as well. You'll see I do deploy my castle troops on this one. That's another thing that we haven't really mentioned, but that's because you can take whatever you want with this strategy really. Jump spell in to get access to the core, and then you'll see there's wizards in the clan castle. Very important you get a poison on them because you don't want wizards doing splash damage on all of your Barch troops. Now the deployment of the Barch troops I haven't really explained either, but it's very simple. Once you've created your funnel, your troops are starting to go into the base through that jump spell, you've cleared out any appropriate splash damage troops, just bring in barbarians and then archers as fast as possible. I do that with a 2-finger drop, and you're basically putting them in right next to that initial jump spell, so they'll go straight into the base with the rest of your troops. So literally 2 fingers on the screen behind the jump spell with barbarians, then with archers to reinforce your army and take down all of that loot. So there you have it guys, that was the GiBarch farming strategy for you. Drop me any comments below if you do have any questions. I did try and keep it as short but informative as possible, but anything else you need to know, I'll try and answer as best I can. I hope that video was helpful for you. Make sure to subscribe for more Clash of Clans. I've been your host Judo Sloth, and until next time, peace out guys. Stay tuned for more Clash of Clans.